broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everyone, and welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV Spotlight on. I am Kaori Takee, and I am with the lovely Elaine Hendrix.
Hi!
Actress and animal rights activist.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell me about your animal rights activist and how it started, because I'm really interested in this, and you know, everyone knows you from all these various TV shows and movies, and I'm sure many people are like discovering right now that you're an animal rights activist. And
yeah, boy, we're just jumping right in, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
So the short, long story is that when my career first started off, and I did a remake of Get Smart with Andy Dick, it was kind of like right then I started getting invited to all these charity events, and I grew up in a family that was very much about giving back. So whenever I got invited to things, I was like, yeah, of course, I want to go. I want to help. And then after a while, like, you know, next came Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion, and the more work I was getting, the more events I was being invited to. And then I just kind of felt like, you know what, I'm doing all these events. It's really great. It's awesome. But I felt schizophrenic. Like I felt like I wasn't making a difference to anyone, anywhere really. And so I sat down at my computer and I said, okay, I'm going to figure out what my platform is. And then looking back, like it should have been obvious because I've loved animals my entire life. But I went online and I said, well, you know, who am I kind of supporting now? And I looked, and then I stumbled upon an undercover fur video. And I won't go into detail because it freaks a lot of people out.
Undercover fur? You mean like the truth of what happened?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And they were skinning what is called a raccoon dog alive.
Oh my gosh.
And that's a very common practice for many reasons, all of which are extremely dumb, and all of which are just for under the veil of fashion, which is even dumber. So in that moment, it was like somebody had kicked me in the stomach, and I doubled over. I had no idea. First of all, I was completely by myself in my apartment, and I had no idea what I was going to see. I had no idea the reaction I was going to have. And I started rocking back and forth, just sobbing uncontrollably, going, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It traumatized me.
Yeah.
And from that moment forward, I changed everything about my life because I learned more and more about what was happening to animals. And I travel all over the world, really, and everywhere I go, I always meet people who are like, I love animals, but I have no idea what's happening to them. And that was me.
That is me.
Right?
That is me.
It's very common. It's very, very common. And just little changes that we make in, particularly, really it boils down to the almighty dollar and how we're spending our money, because money makes the world go round. And so these industries capitalize on their profits, and they keep their profits low by torturing animals is really the bottom line.
That's not fair.
No.
That's not cool.
How's that for an opening?
I know. I just went straight forward because I'm just so fascinated because I'm a huge animal lover, but I know that I lack, you know, the knowledge that a lot of things are happening to animals that we're unaware of. So are there some things that you can share with us that you want us to be aware?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. It's so easy to help animals, especially nowadays. You know, 20, 30 years ago when the movement was just starting, nobody knew about it. And now people are becoming more and more educated, and it's easier. It's easier now than ever. So one of the first things you can do is if you have a pet at home, get them spayed or neutered. Do not breed.
I agree with you on the spayed and neutered. Can you tell people why it's important to get spayed and neutered? Because I have friends that don't do that to their dogs because they're scared of cutting their balls, and I'm thinking, look, it's better for them, and I know it's better for them, but can you give them a better reason than just me saying so?
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, so again, it boils down to the almighty dollar. So let's say that they don't believe that having their dog's balls cut off is a good thing because they're somehow equate that with their own balls being cut off, which is also very typical. And let's say, you know, they think, oh, I want my dog to be able to have babies if I want, and then blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, how about this? How about your tax dollars, our tax dollars? You are paying for animals to be killed almost 10,000 a day.
Oh my gosh.
In our shelter system.
That's a day.
A day. And you're paying for that. So is that how you want your money spent? Forget about health issues, because it is healthier for your pet to be spayed and neutered. Forget the pet overpopulation problem, that we have too many that don't go into homes. Okay, you don't care about that. Do you care about your dollar? Do you care that you are paying for these animals to be killed? And what happens to them next is here's the other thing that happens to them next. They go into rendering plants. And rendering plants are where these animals are basically boiled down.
Oh, no.
And their remains are used to go in fertilizer that then go into our crops, that go into all kinds of...
That's so sad.
It's really disturbing. It's really, really disturbing. So, spay and neuter.
Yeah, I cut you off, so I'm sorry.
No, spay and neuter. Adopt. Don't buy an animal. Always adopt. If you want a pure breed dog, you can always go to a pure breed rescue.
Oh, I didn't even know they had those. See, I love animals. I didn't know they have those.
Yeah, but again, it's very common.
Yeah.
So yeah, pure breed rescues, or rescues of any kind, you can find your very best friend there. Another thing, when you go, like, I noticed your lovely nail polish that you have on, your bright, sassy nail polish. So the next time you have your nails done, just make sure that or any makeup, your mascara, anything, just make sure you're buying cruelty-free products. The leaping bunny is a really great symbol to look for.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Learning so much.
Never buy fur. That's a real easy one. Just simply don't buy it. And then two more things. Don't support any animal entertainments like SeaWorld or Ringling Brothers, the circus that has animals, the zoo. Don't support places like that. And then lastly, which seems to be the hardest and has the most energy around it, but go vegan. And if you can't go vegan, go vegetarian. And if you can't go vegetarian, at least cut out meat a day or two. How many days a week could you cut it out?
You know what? I might try that part. That's a really good one, because I think I've tried doing vegetarian. It's really tough. I've cut out red meat for a little bit, but it's tough sometimes.
Well, you know, we're in a drought right now. California's in a historic 4-year drought, and people are saying, oh, you know, the government's trying to dictate for people to cut back on their showers and their car washing and watering their lawns. The number one abuser is the ag industry, factory farming, of which California produces the most meat in the whole country. It comes from California. Most people think it's the Midwest. It's not. It's California. And per 1 pound of beef, over 4,000 gallons of water have been used to produce that 1 pound of beef.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Way crazy.
For 1 pound?
1 pound.
Yeesh.
So the ag industry is by far, and they're not regulated. It's an unregulated industry. So they're using water left and right without anybody saying squat to them.
And that industry should be regulated. It's agricultural.
Yeah, well, ideally we want factory farms to be shut down, but again, we're just like starting right off with all the good stuff, aren't we?
I mean, there's so much to talk about. I just wanted to go straight into it. We also have adopted dogs here at AfterBuzz. Chloe as Sparky, so we're big on adopting dogs.
Chloe and Sparky.
I'm sure you have some pets that you've adopted.
I do. At the moment, I have 3 dogs and 2 cats.
Oh, that's a full house.
It is a full house, but it's a fun house.
Do they all get along really well?
Yeah, they do. Every once in a while, the dogs will chase the cats, and I've learned, like, I used to, reprimand the dogs, but now I've decided, no, the cats, are kind of antagonizing them. Gets them a little exercise. They're having a little fun. It's just a little unfair since the dogs are so big.
Yeah. Oh, they're all big.
Well, I have 2 50-pound dogs, one 20-pound dogs, and then the cats.
Yeah, the kitties.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you have a podcast, an animal podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's part of my organization, my nonprofit, the Pet Matchmaker. My foundation is called the Pet Matchmaker Heart Foundation, and we have basically a grassroots media, education, informational side called the Pet Matchmaker, where we celebrate and inspire the rescue, foster, and adoption of homeless pets everywhere. Aww. And then we're getting ready to launch a rescue team, the Humane Animal Rescue and Response Team. So all of that is happening under one umbrella, and part of that is our podcast, the Pet Matchmaker Podcast. And you can find that like on iTunes and Google Play and SoundCloud, and also on our website. But, it's not unlike this. It's a studio. Yeah. People come in. We have really amazing guests. We have a lot of celebrities and talk about my life, talk about pets, talk about animals. It's
Do you get
fun.
pets in the celebrity pets?
Look, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, AfterBuzz.
And who's this?
That's, so that's Ellie. That's one of my doggy babies. That's my girl, Ellie.
And when was this picture taken? Because you have not aged since The Parent Trap.
Oh, thank you. That's a more recent photo. Oh. The Parent Trap is not so recent, but...
I mean, ageless right here, so...
Thank you.
Well, so... I'm like, I want to talk about The Parent Trap, but then I know that we're talking about pets, so...
Well, the Pet Matchmaker, my podcast, go check it out.
Yes, go check it out. I love that you're doing that. That's a huge thing, because I feel like as many people that are doing, there's not enough. Because there's not enough awareness about it. And
it's true. It's growing, though. It's really growing. Ricky Gervais has become, I don't know where maybe he's always been into it, I don't know, but he's been particularly outspoken, and he's the one to be outspoken, so that's great. And Jon Stewart's getting ready to open a sanctuary, and all kinds of celebrities are helping spread the word, so it's good.
Yeah, you guys have, big voices, so it's good.
Yeah, on one hand, I feel like, God, that's kind of a shame. But on the other hand, it really does, I do believe that if you're going to be in show business, then you've got to use that for something other than yourself. Please, God.
I like you so much more already.
Thank you.
So let's talk about, obviously your accomplishments, such as The Parent Trap. Everyone knows you from The Parent Trap, and you played this bitch. I just hated you in that movie.
Thank you.
You did it so well. You did it so well, but obviously you're not like that in real life. But you get a lot of, vixen, hot, sexy roles, because obviously you're a very attractive woman. So
thank you again.
Are there any roles that you haven't really portrayed yet that you really want to try out?
I really would love to do more period pieces. I feel like I've kind of touched on them in different ways, like my most current show, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
We have a lot of flashbacks, and my character and Dennis Leary's character, I know we're going to talk about this here in a minute, but our characters are kind of stuck in the late 80s, early 90s, so that's kind of period-esque. But I really want to do something, and I don't know, probably all actresses may say this, but I really want to do something from the 30s or the 40s. That's when I feel like film really knew how to capture women and really let women be women, and during those golden ages of film, and so I'd like to be in something that mirrors that.
Is there a dream, psych co-star for that dream role?
Wow, I get to cast anybody,
and you can be anyone.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to do something that Carol Lombard or Myrna Loy did, or Katharine Hepburn even. So I want to do that, and gosh, who am I going to put with me? I am going to put, the first person that came to mind was Russell Crowe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think of him as being period, but I like him so. I mean, you could put anybody with him. Robert Downey Jr., Johnny Depp. I don't know. I guess those are dream actors for anybody to work with.
Oh, yeah. I'd be willing to work with anybody, but So, in terms of The Parent Trap, were you a fan of the original when you got casted?
Well, I was certainly a huge fan of Disney.
Yeah.
And I had seen the original, but I didn't really I didn't give it two thoughts because it was an older film, and I've tried to see a lot of older films. My mom, though, and I think my mom's generation, my mom was obsessed with Haley Mills, who played the original twins in the original movie. And so getting to be a part of that, first of all, to be a part of the Parent Trap, it's not really a franchise, but
The reboot? The remake?
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. That product, we'll say, was really incredible, but also then knowing like it had a special place in my mom's heart.
Aww.
Like that even made it like even more special.
I don't know why I just thought of this question, but I'm just gonna ask you, if they asked you to be on Dancing with the Stars, would you do it?
You know, I probably would. And I've actually been asked that a lot because I am a classically trained dancer. That was how I got my start. And I don't get to dance as much now, and so I think it would be really fun. First of all, I think it would get my ass back in shape is the first thing. Well, yeah, I can fake it, but I'm not nearly as in good of shape, and I just think it would be fun. So if they asked, I probably would.
Are there any reality shows that you would love to be in? Other than, I don't know if Dancing with the Stars, I guess it's a reality competition show.
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with The Voice.
Are you?
Yeah, I like The Voice.
Are you a good singer?
I sing on Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll, so yeah.
Oh, let's talk about Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll then.
Since I keep coming back to it over and over again, it's so on my brain right now.
It premieres next month. It's your latest project on FX. So tell us a little bit about the show itself.
So it was created and written by and executive produced by. Some of the episodes were directed by. Did I say written by? Stars, everything with Dennis Leary.
He's been like an FX alum, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he had Rescue Me, which was a big show for FX. And so now he's back. And now he plays an aging rock star who's basically going to get a second chance, we all think, we all hope, through his daughter. And it really becomes about the battle of egos and this weird dynamic. Really, we're just this big dysfunctional family. The band is a big dysfunctional family.
And your character Ava, tell us a little bit about her.
Ava has been with so Dennis Leary plays Johnny Rock, and Ava has been with Johnny Rock forever. We've been together. We've been ups and downs and ins and outs, and I'm also his backup singer and his percussionist, and so I sort of am the puppeteer.
Okay.
I try to, in this kind of weird way, guide him along and protect him from himself as best I can. But really, when it's all said and done, if he jumped off the cliff, I'd jump off the cliff with him. But I'm probably going to keep him from doing that. So.
And you're saying you just mentioned there's a lot of flashbacks?
Well, there are some flashbacks.
Okay.
And then he and I are kind of we're very much stuck in the past and like what could have been and what should have been and what would have been if he weren't such a F up. I'm not going to drop the F-bomb yet.
Good if you want.
And so we're still, our fashion speaks to that as well.
So does that mean that you got to wear different wigs and different, outfits? And was that fun?
He did more so. I didn't really get to wear wigs, although they did my hair in some crazy do's.
It must have been fun.
It was way fun. But the clothes are off the hook for everybody, but especially for me. I'm a real, even though I'm a little dated, I'm a fashionista on the show.
You're a little dated?
Well, I guess dated's the wrong word. I'm vintage.
Okay.
How about that? I'm vintage.
Yeah.
And I wear a lot of actual vintage pieces on the show.
Yeah.
But Ava has style. Ava has real style, which was fun because you don't always get to be how often do you get to be a rock star?
Never.
And we were bona fide rock stars, right, on the show. So
that's awesome. So you got to use some singing, and then you got to, I
got to sing, I got to dance, I got to act, I got to be funny, I got to be tough. Dennis loves funny, tough women, and the cast is phenomenal. We have John Corbett from Sex and the City. We have yeah. Everybody knows Aiden.
Of course. I think that was the year when every woman was naming their newborn child Aiden.
Really?
Yeah.
It was like the number one baby name that year.
I'm probably like 2004. Aiden.
Well, and he's a doll. And then Elizabeth Gillies, who is on Victorious from Nickelodeon, and she plays Johnny's daughter, who comes back.
Okay.
Phenomenal voice. She's great. And then Robert Kelly and John Ailes also rounds out the band, the drummer and the bass. And we actually really play. We all played. We really sang. We did
That's
everything.
awesome.
It is awesome. It's a dream come true. You don't get many opportunities like this as an actress, for
And you
sure.
got 10 episodes already in queue.
Our first season was 10 episodes. We premiered July 16th, and then hopefully they'll be bringing us back.
We're going to have to TiVo that, guys.
Yeah.
I don't even know if people use the word TiVo anymore. I feel like it's
I don't either, but I knew what you were talking about, so I'm going with it.
So you've guest starred in a lot of shows.
Yeah.
And you recently got considered for an Emmy nom.
Thanks, yes. Okay, so I guess the lingo is I was submitted.
Okay.
I was submitted for an Emmy nom, and now voting started today, and voting goes from June 15th to June 26th.
That's a small window. It's like 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's on the Emmy site, so you have to be a member of the Television Academy, and then you have to not only be a member, then you have to be in the category, so the performer category, I guess, to be able to vote for me. Outstanding guest actress in a comedy series is what it is, because this was for my appearance on Marin.
Yeah.
Which is on the IFC. Funny. I did things on that show that should not be allowed on TV, but I'm proud of it. And
what? Or should we not say here?
No, you can go go on YouTube. So go on YouTube and you can find my Elaine Hendrix Marin. You can find the clip.
That's awesome.
Or the series of clips. And it's funny. It's so funny.
Do you get shy when they ask you to do certain things on set or on on camera, and you're like, I don't know if I want to do that,
No, and I never really have it. That's, especially if you're going to do comedy, you can't be shy. You've got to be balls to the wall because, the funny stuff comes in the most ridiculous, absurd things. So if you're not willing to do that, you're kind of in the wrong game.
How about any nude scenes? Would you be game for that? Someone's like, I want you to get naked and just do a nude scene.
Well, funny you mentioned that, because we were just in Bonnaroo this weekend, and I said to Dennis, I said, if we come back, you really need to make me more naked next season. And he's like, wait a minute, what? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, when do you ever hear an actress say I need to be more naked? But yeah, it's sex and drugs and rock and roll. So, yeah. And I say go for it.
Yeah.
So it depends. I'm way, 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 way not at all into gratuitous nudity.
Sure.
But if it serves the storyline, or if it were as a real specific device, like something funny, yeah, I'd be game.
So do you have any things that are out of your comfort zone in terms of, on camera stuff? You seem very open to doing anything.
Yeah, but I will not under any circumstances. In fact, I've lost jobs. I've been close to losing jobs. I've had major tug of wars over wearing fur.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's something I won't even do as a character. I won't even wear fake fur because you can't tell the difference. And so that's something that is a hard line I will not cross.
I'm surprised that some people just say you can't have the job because you don't want to wear it.
Yeah, there was a show, I'm not going to name it, and they called about my availability, and I got as I was looking it over, and the description specifically said this fur-clad woman, blah, 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 and I wrote, I had my reps call back, and I say, it says fur in here, is that a thing? Because she's into it, but she won't do the fur, and they're like, yes, actually it is, and then I had to pass.
Oh, man. Well, good for you for keeping your rights and standing up to all that stuff. Good
Thank you.
Animal activist. So being in the industry for a long time, TV shows, movies, but you've also done some voice acting for notably the video game Resident Evil Revelations 2. How was that dabbling into that aspect of the entertainment business?
Well, I was the actual full body for Alex Wesker, and when I did it. So you're gonna do a video game. Awesome, great. I love doing video games. And then they're like, but we can't tell you what it is. And I said, okay. I said, and we were there. I was actually meeting all these people. I actually came over from Japan.
Oh, cool.
And the director and all this, and we had translators. And so when I was there, I just said, well, my only thing is, does my character kill animals?
Oh.
And they're like, no. But they're like, is that like, do we need to like make that a thing? And I don't know if they did or not, but I'm like, I mean, that'd be nice, because I really don't want to do that even in a video game. And they're like, yeah, no problem. It turns out it's not a part of the game, which is good. So I did the game. I kept asking my reps, like, what game? Is it ever going to come out? Like, what happened? I have no idea. And then I start getting all these messages, like just thousands of messages from people. Oh my God, and all these images, and people did artwork, and I'm like, whoa. And it found out it was part of the Resident Evil chain. And I had no idea.
It's a huge franchise.
It's crazy.
Yeah, putting yourself on the gamer block is really good. It adds value.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, it's just fun.
Yeah,
I loved it. And so now everybody's like, are you going to come to the cons and blah? And I'm like, I would love to. So we're going actually to Comic-Con this year with Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. But I would love to do more video games, and I would love to go to these conventions. I've been to Dragon Con before. And I just find it fascinating. So, Star Wars is my favorite movie. So
is it?
Yes, I'm a little bit of a geek. I
love that.
Yeah, and so I like that stuff. I grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons. I'm with it.
Oh, look at you.
I'm in that world.
So are you excited about the new Star Wars movie coming out in December?
I don't know how. I'm cautiously optimistic about the movie, because episodes 1, 2, and 3, the new ones, were so abysmal and such a disappointment. I think it ruined the franchise. So I think these new ones really have a lot to redeem.
Well, they are bringing back all the original people, and they're trying to,
thankfully.
Yeah. So I have a little faith also, because did you see Jurassic Park and Jurassic World?
Well, Jurassic Park, yes. I haven't seen Jurassic World yet.
I'm curious to see what you think about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you've seen it?
I've seen it, and I was actually pretty happy with it, because I had low expectations for it, but it did well. And for people to say, oh, it wasn't credible, I'm like, you're going into a movie about dinosaurs.
A theme park with dinosaurs.
Exactly. So just enjoy it for what it is, So I want to ask you, if you have any beauty tips, because you clearly just, you're ageless, like I mentioned. So do you have any beauty tips, and how do you stay, youthful?
Yeah, a few. I drink a lot of water.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, a lot. And I've done that. I'm sort of one of these weirdos that it's like, I'm gonna, when I get something in my mind, I do it, and then I'm uber disciplined about it. So when I was 11 years old, I looked at a Coke can and I said, I'm never gonna have a Coke again. And since I was 11 years old, I have never had a Coke again.
Never, not even desperate.
Not even a sip.
Wow.
No. So I don't drink soft drinks. And then when I was like 15, 16, because I don't even remember what I was drinking. But then I said, well, you know what? All I'm going to drink is water. And for years and years and years, all I drank was water. And now, I'm kind of balanced. I still don't drink soft drinks, but I drink water. I'll have an adult beverage or two.
Yeah.
And I drink a lot of green tea.
No coffee.
No coffee.
Yeah.
I could never get into coffee. I tried.
You're lucky.
Really?
Yeah. It's an addiction.
I don't know. Green tea supposedly has more caffeine than anything.
But it has antioxidants to go with it.
So there you go. Yeah. So coffee to me just always tasted like burnt water. I couldn't get into it.
It tastes like burnt water, but I'm into it. It's like, I know what I'm tasting.
I don't care. I want my burnt water.
Exactly. I can't disagree with you there. How about fitness and...
Well, I still, as often as I can, I do still dance when I can, and then I'm very active with my dogs.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of walking, hiking, and then, to me, the core of everything is really about your level of happiness. Mm-hmm. And so I fight, because I think a lot of artists battle with, if not full-on depression, then depressive times. It's a really hard industry. It's a really challenging career. It challenges your self-esteem.
Oh, all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. I mean, even myself, trolls online, you're like, I don't read those comments.
Yeah.
Just don't read them.
And there's always going to be somebody out there telling you you're not enough, you're not this, you're not that, you're too this, you're too that, blah, blah, blah. And so I have fought really, really hard, especially the older I get, to kind of be like, I'm not going to give those people and those situations so much time in my head and time in my life, because it's a soul sucker.
It is.
So I really fight for my happiness on a daily basis.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been in the industry for a while. You say that.
Yeah,
but
easy with that.
A little bit. But how much do you think it's changed since, way back when to... Well, not way back when. She's not that old.
Yeah, again, easy there. Way back when you started, before there were telephones, before we had color TV.
Do you do stand-up as well?
No.
You totally could.
Thank you, darling. I remember when stand-up first started. The industry has changed immensely.
And how have you adapted to it?
God, I don't know, the best I can. I teach. As a matter of fact, I've just been asked to teach in New York for a big institution there, and I teach at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts and some other studios here in LA. And regularly, I get asked about breaking in, and it's a whole different world. And I tell people, you've got to really, really, really want this and really see yourself doing nothing else, because this is going to test your it's going to test your fortitude on every level. And now with the advent of all this new media, my thing just went off here. So much is happening on this.
It's hard to step away.
And this is competing with television. This is competing with the big screen. So it's hard.
It is hard. I went to Disneyland this past weekend just to get away. Yeah. And I thought to myself, I shouldn't have brought my phone with me because I'm getting text messages that I can't not address, even though I want to.
Right.
I want to get away from it. So now it's like you're never really detached from society, and sometimes you just need to relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any other tips that you can give people that are interested in joining the entertainment industry?
Yeah, you've got to explore. You've got to, here's what I say. You've got to decide where your lines are. So for me, I won't do gratuitous nudity. For me, I will not wear fur. Those are my lines. So decide what your lines are, and aside from those, explore everything that you possibly can. I also, there's certain things I don't believe in, and people have done it. People have slept their way up the ladder. I did not take that route. I don't advocate that route, because I think that puts especially women in a lot of dangerous situations. So again, that kind of is another line that goes. So decide where your morals, your ethics, your do's and your don'ts, and then beyond that, just go and explore and learn and network and grow and try and do as much as you can. Avoid getting in the union as long as possible. Network, go out and talk and meet with other actors, go to classes, read, experiment. And the more you do that, after a while, you learn, and this whole kind of mush pile starts to take form if you keep at it, and you keep getting better at your craft too, and you keep learning, and then it starts to shape into something. And then the last piece of that is you can't stop. You've got to keep going, because it's a shape of something that never ends. So it's never we're doing the AFTERBUZZ and my career is complete because I'm now doing media because I'm on a show. No, it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's sex and drugs and rock and roll today. Today I'm on the AFTERBUZZ, but tomorrow, who knows? Tomorrow I could be back to square zero, and it really happens like that. So you can't ever stop.
It's kind of scary. Well, the industry.
Yeah.
But that's the way we live, isn't it?
You know, that's the drug.
Yeah.
That's because all of those yeses, it's like, you know, you get the needle ready and you get that high from the yeses.
Yeah.
And then you forget about all the no's, and then you're back into the no's, but then that yes comes along, and then you forget about all the no's, and it's just this cycle.
Is there any activities that you haven't tapped in and that you're interested in trying out? I don't know, like rock climbing. I don't know if you've done that or not, but
I don't know. I'm a big nature gal, so I've done a lot.
You weren't on the Parent Trap.
No, but then that took some acting. I was like, this was my backyard growing up. You know, I'm really happy again. Just I've got sex and drugs on rock and roll is so on the brain right now. But I'm like, you know, learning guitar. I'd like to learn harmonica. I'm boning up on all my music theory. So I'm kind of
cool.
Yeah. So I played the piano growing up, and I'm also kind of relearning the piano in a new way, and so I'm excited about exploring the musical opportunities that we get with the show.
Are you still in touch with Lindsay Lohan?
No. And people ask, and no, I haven't even seen her. I don't think I've seen Lindsay Lohan since the premiere of The Parent Trap.
Wow, that long, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's up to interesting activities.
You know, Lindsay is very talented. She's so talented, and it's hard for any kid in this industry to cross over. And so the fact that she did so, I mean, really, she's on one hand, she's kind of lived a normal up and down kid life. It's just because she did so under the spotlight of like the world that it just kind of got magnified into what it did. But kids every day go through what she did.
It just people notice because
it's everywhere.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
But Lindsay's really talented.
Yeah. And how about Dennis Quaid?
Dennis, I've seen Dennis a few times. We've been at different events together. But you know who's one of my bestie girlfriends is Lisa Ann Walter, who played Chessie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I see her all the time. We've actually written a movie together that we're in the process of putting together. And
can you say anything more about that movie?
I don't know, just that it's going to be coming.
Okay, fair enough.
That'll be for the next show.
Yeah, that'll be for the next show because you got to come back. And thank you so much for joining me and talking to me.
Yeah.
And you're a vegan, huh?
I am vegan.
Yeah, I'm interested because it's like something I'm such an animal person, and I just want to help in more ways, and I just don't really know how. Maybe I can start by eating less meat.
Well, you know how you start? You go to my website, thepetmatchmaker.com, and we have all kinds of stories and articles and links to other organizations.
Oh, that's great.
So that's a good. I created it, the Pet Matchmaker, and that brand, because it's sort of like, I feel like it's a soft intro into that world. Aww. You know, people can relate to who's in their home. You know, they may not be able to relate to a cow on a farm somewhere or a lion in the jungle. You know, that's kind of out of their day-to-day realm of reality. But you can relate to the dog in your house. And you can relate to the cat in your house. So start there. Yeah. You know? So go to thepetmatchmaker.com.
Yeah, thank you for starting that website and that podcast. I think a lot of people should know about this, including myself.
Oh, thank you.
So where can our viewers follow you?
So everything, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of it is under Elaine, the number 4, Animals. Elaine for Animals. When I started getting into the whole social media world, Elaine Hendrix had already been scooped up by people.
Was it
and like
a fake you?
Yeah, they were doing fake me's, and so I was like, ugh, and I didn't want to go through the whole thing of fighting and blah blah blah. So I was like, no, forget it. I'll just do Elaine for Animals. Did it across the board.
I like it anyway.
Yeah, and
it works.
It blends all my worlds together.
Cool.
Yeah.
And our viewers, be sure to check out Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll on FX starting next month, July 16th.
July 16th.
I got it right.
Yeah. Thursday nights, 10 o'clock.
Yes.
On FX.
It's a comedy kind of, right?
No, it's a comedy.
Oh, it's definitely
I mean, it has heartfelt moments, but it is a Dennis Leary comedy for sure.
Okay, excellent. And you can follow me at KAORIOUS on all those various Instagrams.
I'm going to do that.
Yes. Oh, yay!
Yeah.
I'll follow you too.
Okay.
And thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time for some more AfterBuzz TV.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.